A very good evening to everybody that is watching. Thank you for making time and being with us here tonight on the evening review. My name is Taiwan Jabela, your host. Tonight we are joined on the platform by Jacob Penda. He is the General Secretary of the Namibia Food and Allied Workers Union, NAFAU, and he is here to brief us on the situation that happened recently at OK Foods in Rundu. He held a press conference there last week, and we just want to expand on the message. Thank you, Jacob, for making time. The first question is really if you can give us some sort of background. So workers at OK Food went on strike. Why did they go on strike in the first place?
Yeah, thank you for having me and for the viewers. You know, the workers' intention is not to go in the strike.
Yeah.
And the strike is not the first step to be taken by the workers.
Yeah.
In most cases, the strike will be the last resort upon now all the necessary procedures in terms of negotiation has failed.
Yeah.
And then you need to follow the procedures as outlined in our Labor Act.
Yeah.
That we need to follow in order for the workers to go in a protected strike.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what were the issues that led to all those processes being undertaken?
Yeah, the issue is a wage negotiation.
Yeah.
Whereby the workers usually been proposing to get the increment, whether it's on their salaries or condition of employment on annual basis.
Yeah.
And that is what happened. We forward the proposals and we start to negotiate. We reach the deadlock, and when we went to the office of the Labor Commissioner for conciliation, and until the date we given the certificate of unresolved, the company have zero on the table, and the workers has been undermined that if it is the case, the current situation or the living standard is not affordable.
Yeah.
Therefore they cannot accept the zero increment, and thus we follow the process to give the certificate of unresolved, to sign the rules of the strike, and then to give a notice of the strike to commence. Yes.
If you can give us a picture, Jacob, what are the conditions like before we proceed to the next questions? What are the conditions like when people are saying we can't live on these salaries, these are too low, we cannot continue to work under these circumstances? Can you get into specifics of how these salaries look like?
Yeah, you know, currently, for example, some of the employers, for example, the employees have been paid the salary between 1.5 to 2,500. Just an example. So now, in that salary, you need to pay to buy food. You need to buy all the necessary basic need for yourself and for your family. So now, looking at the cost of consumed product in the retails or wherever things are very expensive. And now in every town, wherever you're traveling, you have to jump in the taxi, which is you need to pay the transport, whether you go to work or so. And these are some of the issues that have been prompt now agitate the workers not to accept, because the food items on either if it is not quarterly, within 6 months, it increase. But the salary of the workers will only go either get increased once a year. But imagine even how the fuel is being increased throughout the year, and the other basic needs. So and that even the transport, you know, normally if you are in town, you pay $13 to go or $13 to come back from work. But looking at the if you are now not probably at the normal tax rate, but you go up to 26 to 36, depend on the distance. So and these are some of the issues on the workers to request for their salary to be increased, and the other benefit. There are a lot of benefits that the workers may demand, depend on their companies.
Now, in this specific case now with OK Food, where 109 workers were suspended recently, the company says they are suspended with full pay, but they will go through the processes of disciplinary hearing for embarking on an unprotected or illegal strike, essentially. How did that happen? You went to the labor commissioner, you got a certificate of a matter not being resolved, everybody went back, and then what happened? How did they embark on an illegal strike?
Yeah, thanks for the question. For the employer to saying the workers went for unprotected strike, to me it means that either the person who wrote that the workers went for unprotected strike doesn't read between the lines. So now, there are two types of strike.
Yeah.
If you go for unprotected strike, it means the company can fire you immediate. And in terms of the law, to go in unprotected strike, it's a dismissal offense.
Yeah.
Now, the strike which the OK Food employee went, it is a legal and protected strike. As I indicated that first of all, as a union, we have to be recognized by the company, then to sign the recognition agreement that now will give us the power to bargain on behalf of the workers, to negotiate on behalf of the workers. And we have to submit the wage proposal, we have to enter into the negotiation, then we reach the deadlock, whether it's internal between the union and the company. And after we reach that deadlock, then you can able then to declare the dispute to the Office of the Labor Commissioner. You will be given the date to attend the conciliation, because the dispute of when you declare the disputes regarding to the wages and the condition of employment, it will be called the dispute of interest. And the dispute of interest is only end up to the conciliation. Then the conciliator can give the certificate of unresolved that were given by the two parties to the two parties. And then after you given the certificate of unresolved, then you embark in the process of voting. Then the voting will determine whether the majority of workers in favor of the strike or workers accept the company offer. That is now the voting is to determine whether the workers are in favor of one of the two, which is now the outcome would be workers are in the favor of the strike. And we set up the rules of the strike, which the union and the employer has been signed, agreed to. And after that, then the employer given a notice as to when the workers will embark on the strike. And the workers has been the strike for 10 days. And during those 10 days, it is normal, it is a legal strike, and the workers are at the place where demarcated or agreed upon by the party that this is your assembly point during your strike, you have to be here or so. So now, after that, we engaging one another during those days, and we have resolved happened to agree on to resolve the strike. And then when we agree, before we call off the strike, we have to reduce what we agree in writing.
Yeah.
And that is what happened. And everything that has been agreed on, it is covered there. And that agreement, because it has been overseen by the conciliator, it have signed by both parties. Let me say now, in that case can be the tripartite, whereby the conciliator have to sign, who was overseen to see to it that the matter had been resolved, the employer and the union, of which we did. Now, after that, the strike rule says, if upon the strike being resolved, the workers have within three working days, they have to resume their duties. And that is what happened. We sign off the agreement on the 23, and the 24, because this company having 2 branches, 24, the Nkulenkulu, they report. 25, 8 o'clock in the morning, the Rundu employees, they report. And then that has been, upon them we report, and they are within 3 working days. And upon the report, they were issued then the so-called the suspension letters with those allegations within the suspension letter of unprotected strike. But for me, it's that is invalid, and it doesn't make sense if the 2 parties has been gone to all those processes. It is a wrong thing to do, either to intimidate or victimize or harassing the workers, or not to tell them that no, I will show you so that the next time you cannot participate in the future plan that you may have exercised your right that you are given by the legal, by the statutory provisions. So I think that is the message that he tried to send, or to test the capability of the union.
Yeah. Before we go for a small break, Jacob, what was the nature of that tripartite agreement that led to the strike ending? Is it were there some compromise on the part of the company to say, look, we are now going to give you some of your demands, or this agreement to end the strike had nothing to do with any of the demands being met?
Yeah, it is always, when you negotiate, is a process of give and take. And as the strike has been back, there were 0 on the table, but one way or another, the party have to compromise. Instead now of saying no is 0 whatsoever, or we saying it is 500 or 400.
Yeah.
Then you need also to negotiate in a good faith. By give and take, and thus now give and take, it means a party trying to resolve things, but that process is you will find a win-win situation. That one, at least both parties will be happy, although it's not 100%, but at least you sort out the differences.
Absolutely. We go for a short break and then return.
E-Ticket, your online ticket solution for events and event marketing, bringing you ease of mind and making sure that your event gets out there. For more information, contact events@nmh.com.na.
The show continues with Jacob Penda of NAFAU. Now, maybe the last question on this subject of OK Food, Jacob. What is the status of the matter now as we speak? Are the workers still suspension? You have expressed yourself as a union. Did you hear from them saying, look, we have heard you now, we are going to take back people, we are going to drop the suspension? So what is the status as we speak?
Yeah, thank you for the question. The current status, we as a union, we try to engage the employer to say, look, the way or what you choose to embark, it seems contrary to what you has been done from day one of the strike until we resolve the strike. Mm. Can you look at your, either probably, whether it's your own decision or advisors that you get to seize that? Mm. So, and we did it in writing, to communicate with the employer. However, the response is that he cannot withdraw that, and it seems that now they are stick to their gun. Mm-hmm. To proceed with whatever the intention they have. So, however, us as a union, we have a duty, a responsibility to overseeing that procedural and substantial fairness when it's come to though the process that employer embark to take been reasonable or justifiable. Hmm. So, however, currently we are prepared to see to it that the workers' right and the interests are fully been represented, mm-hmm. and we take all the necessary mechanism to see to it that these things is not whether as the employees are on the full suspension will not have a negative impact towards the employees, as we know that though the allegation in the suspension letter is baseless. Mm-hmm. So thus we are prepared, thus we are ready and we are prepared. And mostly also is that, you know, this is a very bad message that the employer want to send to the Namibian people. And as Namibian people, we should not allow us to be treated in this way, whereby now employer opted to discriminate the workers or to intimidate, not to discriminate, to intimidate, harass, and victimize them, to suspend them after the strike. Now, what is the use for employer to suspend you and the employee, either your son, your wife, or your children, or your son, your daughter, on your behalf? What applied to you, it will be applicable to the next employee. Mm-hmm. So, as Namibia, we should send a clear message to this employer and the rest of the employer, so that they will not repeat this. Mm. Whereby now, even at that town of Rundu, people, the communities, they are busy organizing themselves to boycott buying product of OK food. And if they will not seize this, they will see the reaction of the community at large, because the community are unhappy as we are not happy as a union. So, and probably in a few days, if they are not change their intention, the OK food will face also some action from the community out there. And that's, I think, if the community are sympathy with their family, is the right thing to do, because who is buying their product? Yeah. Is it the family of those employees? Absolutely. And if they go to support somewhere where the community or workers have been treated fairly, it is the right thing to do. Yes.
Yeah. On a different note, Jacob, it was announced, I think, on Saturday that Cabinet has endorsed the new national minimum wage. I think it's $18 per hour now. I don't think it's effective yet, but that has been that is the decision. And you represent people in some of the lowest paid industries. Farmers, for example, I think the minimum wage right now is $6, if I'm not mistaken. What is your assessment of this announcement?
Yeah, we represent workers in the food industry. Partially, some are in that scope, and the majority are in retail, food, fishing, meat, and hotel, and so forth. Whoever is dealing with a consumable. Yeah. So the national minimum wage, or the announcement, is not a surprising thing. The minister, when he appointed the wage commission, is appointed in terms of the tripartite, whereby our federation, the National Union of Namibia, through their sister union, has been, or sister union through the federation, has been represented in that committee. And we give our input as a representative of the Namibian workers. And to the end, when we give the input in terms of the tripartite, union, employee, employer, and the government. So, and at the end of the day, the national minimum wage was being determined by the Ministry of Labor, of which, as per our scope, a majority, looking at the $18 per hour, probably it can give you around 3,000, between 3,200 up, versus now somebody who has been paid 1,800 or 2,000 or less than the 1,800. To those who are at the lower salary, and to us as the Namibian, it is important for us really to have the basic, or the minimum salary, in order now to build on that minimum salary, so that, as I said, the whatever the product, the basic needs, increase on a daily basis, and the salary of our people, in most cases, we are fighting for, end up in the process that has been explaining. But this is a good move, to have the national minimum wage. Although some may criticize, but this is the tripartite consultation, and employers been also represented by the federation, workers have been represented by their union, and as a result, even before it had been announced, there has been a consultation in terms of the tripartite on the finding. So, and we were part and parcel of the finding, and also the recommendation that has been forwarded to the cabinet. We have been consulted, and we give a go ahead.
Wonderful.
As a tripartite, we give a go ahead, so that at least the income of our people can be uplifted, and it should be also noted that the minimum wage is not the maximum wage.
Absolutely.
So, and the minimum is not the only thing, that because the union still have a right to negotiate in terms of their bargaining power within the respective employer.
Absolutely. One last question. We have 30 seconds to go. NAFAU is part of the NUNW family. NUNW is affiliated to the SWAPO party. There are elections coming this year. What is NAFAU's contribution to this election? Are you rallying behind it, Monani Ndaitwa?
Yeah, as a General Secretary of NAFAU, I'm dealing with the bread and butter. We are dealing all the affiliate unions to NNW. We are dealing with the bread and butter issues of the Namibian workers. And when we are dealing with that, we are not dealing with an issue of politics, because we are representing the workers from the different political party. So, and the issue of election is not to me to talk about the election, unless that question you can pose it to the relevant institution, which is NNW, that as you said, is affiliated to the party. Yeah. We are not affiliated to the party as a union. The union is affiliated to NNW, and we have constitutions. That is, our mandate has been stipulated, and we have to work within the framework of our mandate. Unless NNW constitution stipulate otherwise, then it's the right institution to be posed that question.
Absolutely.
So maybe just lastly is to saying that Namibian out there, we should support our people. This kind of treatment by employers, as a union, we cannot allow it, we cannot tolerate. We should support our fathers, our brothers, and our mothers, those who have been mistreated by some of these employers, so that at least as the Rundu community, they are ready to support them through the action. All of us, let's support the workers, because the workers are the backbone of our economy. Yes. And we should treat them with respect and dignity in order for us to achieve our economy growth, or to sustain works, to be industrialization country, and so forth. So whatever action towards the employees which are negative, we should condemn and support one another to the maximum. And this action, I'm calling all the Namibians, especially those in the two regions, and whoever going there, make sure, and unless the company or as a union, we came in public saying the matter has been resolved. And if that is not come in the public, we should support other institutions rather than to support those who are mistreating the Namibian workers.
Absolutely. Jacob, thank you for coming through.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
And thank you.
Yeah, that is Jacob Penda. He's General Secretary of the Namibia Food and Allied Workers Union, NAFAU, telling us about the situation currently at OK Foods in Rundu, where 109 employees are on suspension following their participation in a recent strike. Thank you for watching.